Well, everybody, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday indeed, considering that Toronto FC drew last night against the Los Angeles Galaxy in a tie that actually, to a lot of people, I think this morning feels like a win. Los Angeles, going into the game last night against Toronto FC in Carson, California, had won 7 games and drew 1 out of 8 played, had only conceded 2 goals all season, home and away, the class of the league, without a doubt, so far in 2010. Early on this season, if you'd have looked at the schedule and said, okay, how's TFC going to do in Carson City, you'd probably think they're going to get blown out. And surprise, surprise, they didn't get blown out last night. A couple of things I just wanted to touch on. If you remember from my original video blog I did back in the early part of the season after the Columbus game, I basically said that I think we're going to know what kind of team we've got in Toronto FC, that is, after this stretch of games in May. And, well, we're getting close to the end. We've got Vancouver next week. Hopefully we can put the Neutralite to bed on Wednesday with a draw or a win in Vancouver. The only blemish in the last 5 games, obviously, was that brain fart game against Salt Lake, where I think some bad tactics and bad squad selection more than anything else cost us a chance to win that game. I think the kind of team we're seeing is seeing a team that actually is coached. And again, I've said before, we haven't really had a coach before. We do now, and that's Preki. His philosophy is keep your shape, attack on the counter, be strong defensively on the ball, and be as annoying as hell to play against. And I think in all respects last night Toronto FC actually lived up to that. Barrett again looked menacing. He didn't score. Well, nobody did. But the Chad Barrett that I'm seeing this year versus the Chad Barrett I'm seeing last year is that when he does miss, he's not putting his head down and getting pissed with himself and getting frustrated and letting missed opportunities leak into the next opportunity. Yes, he's missing chances right now, but he's also converting them as well, and he looked quite strong last night. Stephen Fry saved us the points last night, right in injury time. Toronto was down a man. Usmanov took a professional foul, a second yellow card to prevent a breakaway. We were down to 10 men, and really in the last 10-15 minutes of the game, TFC was really parking the bus and trying to actually keep things in good shape. Fry saved the points with 2 spectacular saves right at the end, and then a punch of the ball out of bounds to actually save the points, because when the ball came back in, there was another goal kick, the whistle went, and we had our single point on the road. Nick Garcia played well at left back last night. Yes, folks, Nick Garcia played well at left back. Maybe because there's not as much overt pressure out on the flanks of the defense, but I don't think Iskanovic is the answer. Usmanov played decent, but maybe Nick Garcia is going to be playing at the back for us for a while. Vancouver away on Wednesday. If TFC can find a way to put that game away, well, then the path becomes a little easier. We've got New England at home next week without de Guzman and Dero. And by the way, we got points last night without Julian de Guzman, our designated player, and again, talisman, I think, to a great extent. Di Rosario looked good last night as well. L.A. was slashing and hacking. He had to leave the game, I think, about 10 minutes to go. Gabe Gala came on and did some sterling time wasting at the end of the game, again, to help secure the points. But I digress for a moment. Getting back to Vancouver, if we could put Vancouver to bed on Wednesday, lo and behold, the next Neutralite game and 2 weeks after that, it's just going to be a crowning, a coronation, I should say, where TFC is actually, no matter what the result is, going to lift that Voyageurs Cup in front of the South Stands, and that's going to be a really, really special day. I said again, I'm going to repeat myself for emphasis, that we're going to know what kind of team TFC is at the end of the month. Well, here we are. The only game we've lost is Real Salt Lake in that time. We've played, I think, 6 games in 21 days, average about 1 game every 5 days, I think. And only the RSL game looked to be like a real significant disappointment to me. I think we've got a decent team. I really believe that, folks. I really think that we've got a team that can be competitive for the playoffs, especially when, if you look at the next 13 MLS games that Toronto FC has on the docket, 9 of them are at that little fortress called BMO Field down by the lake. That excites me. If we can somehow put the neutral leg to bed on Wednesday, somehow get some sort of result against New England on the weekend, New England without Shallery Joseph, by the way. Yeah, we're going to be without de Guzman and Dero, but they're going to be without Shallery Joseph, their talisman. And if we can then go to San Jose and play the kind of game that we played last night, I think this team is going to do okay. MLS is the great rush to the middle. Other than Los Angeles, and maybe their effort last night was not up to snuff by their standards, but other than LA, nobody's really running away with this league yet. TFC is in 3rd in the East, and hopefully we can turn that around and make a good playoff run. So there'll be another video blog up on the site on Thursday after the TFC game late Wednesday. Cheers.